Welcome to the Echo Lab, the place where music's best-kept secrets come to light. In every episode, we uncover the overlooked legends, the underground classics, and the hidden influences that shape the soundtrack of generations. From cult bands and iconic session players to the untold stories behind timeless tracks. If you're a fan of deep cuts and deep dives, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you never miss a beat. Now, let's get into the story behind the sound. Janis Joplin, the Pearl of Pain. Janis Joplin was born on January 19, 1943, in Port Arthur, Texas, a refinery town heavy with oil fumes and conservative values. Raised in a middle-class home, she was the eldest of 3 children to Seth, an oil engineer, and Dorothy, a registrar who loved Broadway musicals. Their brick house on Proctor Street held a piano where Dorothy played Oklahoma tunes. Janis sang in the church choir at 7, her voice bold and raw. I'd belt hymns until the pews shook, she told Rolling Stone in 1970. Port Arthur felt like a prison. Its segregated, conformist culture clashed with Janis's free spirit. She was awkward, with acne-scarred skin and frizzy hair, mocked by classmates for her looks. I was the ugly duckling, she said in a 1969 The Village Voice interview. She saw herself as playing a wound that shaped her life. High school at Thomas Jefferson High was brutal. Janis faced bullying for her liberal views and unconventional style. She wore thrift store skirts and read beat poets like Jack Kerouac, rejecting the town's expectations of women as demure housewives. I wanted to be free, not trapped, she told Cosmopolitan in 1970. Her support for desegregation drew hate. Classmates called her N-word lover and threw pennies, she recalled in a 1968 Vogue interview. Music was her sanctuary. She discovered Bessie Smith and Big Mama Thornton on old 78s, their blues echoing her pain. I'd sing along, feeling every note, she said in a 1969 Dick Cavett Show interview. At 16, she joined a folk trio, performing in coffee houses, her raspy voice already powerful. I knew I wasn't pretty, so I sang louder, she told the New York Times in 1970. Janis's self-perception drove her rebellion. Society demanded women be delicate, but she embraced bold defiance. She wore bangles, feather boas, and oversized glasses, turning her flaws into a statement. My personality was my armor, she told Melody Maker in 1969. She drank whiskey and swore freely, commanding attention. Her high school friend Carlene Bennett recalled in a 2005 No Depression article, Janis walked into rooms like she owned them, daring you to look away. Privately, she struggled. I'd cry, thinking I'd never be enough, she told Rolling Stone in 1969. After graduating in 1960, she enrolled at Lamar State College, but dropped out restless. She hitchhiked to Austin, singing at Threadgill's Bar, where covers of Lead Belly's CC Rider drew crowds. Austin's folk scene embraced her, but Port Arthur's judgment lingered. Her parents sent her to a psychiatrist, fearing her rebellion was illness. They didn't get me, she told the Village Voice in 1969. In 1962, Janis moved to San Francisco's beatnik scene, living in a North Beach flophouse and busking for coins. Her voice, whether by whiskey and cigarettes, carried Bessie Smith's downhearted blues. I sang to survive, she told Dick Cavett in 1970. Addiction took hold, amphetamines, then heroin. She returned to Port Arthur in 1965, working as a key punch operator to go straight. I was miserable, pretending to be someone else, she told Rolling Stone in 1970. In 1966, promoter Chet Helms invited her to join Big Brother and the Holding Company, a psychedelic rock band. She hitchhiked to Haight-Ashbury, diving into its hippie heart. The band, guitarists James Gurley and Sam Andrew, bassist Peter Albin, drummer Dave Getz played raw, chaotic blues rock. Janis's voice was her spark, wailing over Gurley's distorted riffs with Otis Redding's soulful edge. Their 1967 album, Big Brother and the Holding Company, featured Down on Me, a gospel-infused rocker. Her vocal delivery, gritty, improvisational, bent notes like a blues singer. I'd sing until my throat bled, she told Melody Maker in 1968. The album sold 100,000 copies, but their Avalon Ballroom shows made them legends. Janis, in tie-dye and beads, buried self-doubt in fierce charisma. Her songwriting was confessional. She co-wrote Women as Losers, its lyrics. I'm a loser, baby, always been, drawn from her outcast pain. I wrote from my gut. She told the New York Times in 1969. She scribbled lyrics in Haight-Ashbury cafes, inspired by Bessie Smith's raw emotion and Mahalia Jackson's gospel power. My songs were my cry, she told Vogue in 1969. Her minimal guitar work, acoustic chords and rehearsals, shaped Big Brother's sound. She'd hum melodies to Gurley, guiding his riffs. Per a 2005 Guitar World article, her defiance of gender norms grew. Women were supposed to be quiet, but Janis was loud, living openly bisexual in a conservative era. I had to fight to be me, she told Esquire in 1970. In June 1967, Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the holding company hit the Monterey Pop Festival, a defining moment. Her performance of Ball and Chain, a big Mama Thornton cover, was explosive. She wailed, stomped, and shook, her voice cracking with raw emotion. The crowd of 30,000 roared. Mama Cass Elliot, watching from the wings, mouthed wow. Captured in the 1968 film Monterey Pop, Janis's stage presence defied the era's ideal petite, polished women. I'm not pretty, so I give them my soul, she told Rolling Stone in 1968. Her oversized personality, laughing, cursing, flirting, made her magnetic. She wore her insecurities like armor, turning self-doubt into power. Fame intensified her self-image struggles. Boys rejected her in Port Arthur. Now, fans adore her voice but not her heart. I'd look in the mirror and hate what I saw, she told Cosmopolitan in 1970. She leaned into flamboyance, velvet capes, bold makeup, to demand attention. My style says, I'm here, she told Vogue in 1969. She drank Jack Daniels on stage, swore in interviews, and loved freely, defying 1960s norms. Men could be wild, but I had to fight, she said on the Dick Cavett Show in 1970. Friend Peggy Caserta recalled in a 1973 memoir, Going Down with Janis, that Janis cried after shows, feeling unworthy. Her bold-fronted pain, but on stage, she was unstoppable, a queen challenging a world that judged women's looks. In 1968, Big Brother released Cheap Thrills, a bluesy masterpiece. Piece of My Heart, a cover of Irma Franklin's soul hit, became Janis's anthem, hitting number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. Her vocal phrasing, staccato growls, soaring wails, echoed Billie Holiday's Motor Bends. Summertime, a Gershwin cover, showcased her range, with sultry lows and desperate highs. The album topped the Billboard 200, selling over 1 million copies. Janis co-wrote Turtle Blues, its lyrics, I ain't the kind of woman to make your life easy, born from her self-image battles. I wrote what I lived, she told Melody Maker in 1969. Her live shows were chaotic, with hip shakes and whiskey sips that broke ladylike rules. At a 1968 Fillmore East gig, she danced barefoot to 5,000 fans. I gave him all I had, she told the New York Times after. Janis left Big Brother in 1968, craving a soulful sound. She formed the Cosmic Blues Band with organist Steve Colas and horn players from Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Their 1969 album, I Got Demo Cosmic Blues Again Mama, embraced blues and soul. Try roared with raw vocals, inspired by Aretha Franklin, hitting number 5 and selling 800,000 copies. Critics called it uneven, but Janis's passion shone. At Woodstock in 1969, she played to 400,000, her voice cutting through the rain-soaked night. She stretched Work Me, lured to 10 minutes, her phrasing fluid like Otis Redding's. I'd sing until I felt whole, she told the New York Times in 1970. Her defiance of gender norms grew, openly bisexual, rejecting marriage. I'm just me, she said on Dick Cavett in 1970, shunning feminist labels, but inspiring women to be unapologetic. Addiction darkened her path. Heroin and Southern comfort dulled her pain. She'd shoot up in hotel bathrooms, hiding from bandmates. I thought it made me stronger, she told Rolling Stone in 1970. Fame brought love, but also isolation. Men wanted her fame, not her heart, she told friend Myra Friedman, per 1973 biography, Buried Alive. Her bold persona, loud laughs, brash talk, mass vulnerability. Women weren't supposed to live like that, Friedman wrote. Janis didn't care, but the cost was heavy. In 1970, Janis formed the Full Tilt Boogie Band with guitarist John Till and organist Ken Pearson, finding a tighter sound. Pearl, recorded in Los Angeles with producer Paul Rothchild, was her masterpiece. Released posthumously in 1971, it topped the Billboard 200, selling 4 million copies. Me and Bobby McGee, a Chris Christopherson cover, hit #1, her gravelly then soaring vocals making it iconic. She co-wrote Mercedes-Benz a cappella in a bar, its lyrics poking at materialism. I sang what I couldn't have, she told Billboard in 1970. Move Over, a fiery original, declared, I'm not waiting on a man's love, rooted in her defiance. I wrote for my scars, she told Melody Maker in 1970. Her vocal style, pushing her voice to breaking points, drew from Big Mama Thornton's intensity. She'd growl low, then scream, per a 2005 No Depression article. At a 1970 Harvard Stadium gig, she danced barefoot with a whiskey bottle, captivating 40,000 fans. Janis's influences shaped her art. Bessie Smith and Big Mama Thornton taught her to sing from the gut. Otis Redding's soulful delivery guided her phrasing. Lead Belly's folk blues and Billie Holiday's bends fueled her passion. She'd study their records in Haight-Ashbury dives. I wanted to sing like they lived, she told Rolling Stone in 1969. Bob Dylan's poetic lyrics inspired her originals. She'd play Blonde on Blonde before gigs, pacing backstage. The 1960s counterculture, beat poets, San Francisco's hippies, fed her rebellion. I was a freak, and I loved it, she told Esquire in 1970. Her stage presence, hip shakes, arm waves defied expectations, making her a feminist icon, though she rejected the term. Fame deepened her self-image struggles. I'd see pretty girls in the crowd and feel like nothing, she told Cosmopolitan in 1970. Her psychedelic dresses and round sunglasses were a mask. I dressed loud to feel seen, she told Vogue in 1970. She lived boldly, loving men and women, refusing to conform. I ain't no one's wife, she said on Dick Cavett in 1970. Friend Country Joe McDonald recalled in a 2007 Mojo interview, Janis was fearless, but she'd cry, thinking she wasn't enough. Her persona was a shield, carving a path for women in rock. On October 4th, 1970, Janis died of a heroin overdose at the Landmark Hotel in Los Angeles, aged 27. Found with $4.50 in her hand, likely for cigarettes. Per the coroner's report, her death shocked the world. Fans left flowers outside her hotel. 2,000 attended a San Francisco memorial. Pearl's release cemented her legend, selling 8 million by 1980. Her death, part of the 27 Club with Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison, amplified her myth. She was a comet, gone too soon, Rolling Stone wrote in 1971. Her impact was seismic. Her Monterey performance inspired Stevie Nicks, who called her a goddess in a 1981 Rolling Stone interview. Patti Smith adopted her fearless stage presence. Courtney Love covered Piece of My Heart with Hole in 1994. Amy Winehouse cited Janis as her idol in a 2007 The Guardian interview. Florence Welch mimicked her phrasing, per a 2015 Billboard interview. Janis's legacy endures. She sold 18.5 million albums, per Billboard in 2010. Her net worth at death was $250,000, but her influence was priceless. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995, Melissa Etheridge praised her raw soul. The 2015 documentary Janis, Little Girl Blue in 1973 biography Buried Alive kept her story alive. Her defiance of gender norms inspired Lilith Fair, championing women in music. Janis Joplin, the Pearl of Pain, lived loud, loved hard, and left a sound that never fades. Thanks for hanging out with the Echo Lab. Whether you're listening on your favorite podcast app or watching on YouTube, we appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow, subscribe, and drop a review or comment to let us know what you think. Got a band, topic, or a deep cut you want featured? Shoot us a message. Until next time, this is the Echo Lab, where we dive into the story behind the sound.